In today's video, we're going to talk about GameCube exclusive games that were stuck on the GameCube and never left the console. Now before I get into my list, we have a special guest in today's video, and that is Marcello from GameCube Galaxy, and he has a GameCube exclusive that was stuck on the GameCube that he wants to talk about right now.
Hey, what's up everybody? Marcello here from GameCube Galaxy, and Matt reached out to me asking what is one GameCube game that comes to mind that I wish would actually get released outside of the GameCube platform itself, and that choice for me is a very simple one. For me, that pick is F-Zero GX. So I recently just reviewed F-Zero GX on my channel, doing a 20th anniversary review on this title. This game to me is still the quintessential racing experience, not just for the GameCube, but of all time. There is no other fast-paced racing game that comes close to this, and with its fantastic gameplay that is just an adrenaline rush from start to finish, the plethora of content this game has, just the production values, everything about this game just stands out. The gameplay, the graphics, the audio. This game is a masterpiece through and through. And to be honest, it's amazing to me that this game has not been released maybe even on the Switch as an HD remaster, because this is the last home version of F-Zero that we've ever received to this day. If there's one game that I wish would still get another lifespan, or at least released maybe on another Nintendo platform as an HD remaster or something, F-Zero GX is my pick. Now, I did just do a very in-depth review for this on my channel, actually on its 20th anniversary back on August 25th. So if you're interested to see a complete breakdown about this game and why it's an absolute essential, definitely go check out my review on my channel, which Matt will leave a link for the description down below. So, Matt, thank you for asking me to take part in this. Now, back to you.
Thank you so much, Marcello, for joining today's video. Folks, check out GameCube Galaxy if you love the GameCube. The best GameCube channel on YouTube, link in the description down below. For the first game on my list, let's talk about a 3D platforming hidden gem that never left the GameCube, and that game is Wario World. Wario World was released on the GameCube back in 2003, and interestingly enough, it was developed by Treasure. Not only has Wario World been stuck on the GameCube, but it also is the only 3D platforming Wario game, which is a shame because this game is fantastic. In Wario World, you platform your way through a variety of worlds, such as Excitement Central and Spooktastic World, each with a few stages and a boss fight. You will be beating the shit out of enemies with punches, ground pounds, dash attacks, pile drivers, and more, which almost adds a sort of beat 'em up element to the game. There are collectibles in each stage, such as treasures, red diamonds, gold statues, spritlings, and more, and a large variety of enemies and bosses. There is a ton of gameplay variety in Wario World, and although it's short, it is a ton of fun from start to finish. I would love to see Nintendo bring this gem of a game back for the Nintendo Switch as an HD remaster so it can leave the GameCube and be enjoyed by Wario fans across the world. Even better would be if they were to release a double pack with Wario World and Wario Land Shake It. So come on Nintendo, stop doing Wario dirty and release this incredible gem of a game for all the world to enjoy. Next up, let's talk about an obscure game that never left the GameCube that I bet most of you didn't even know existed, and that game is Tube Slider. Tube Slider was released on the GameCube in 2003, and it is a super fast, futuristic racer along the lines of F-Zero and Extreme G, and it was developed by ND Cube. Now, ND Cube is notable because they've developed a ton of Nintendo first-party titles, such as every Mario Party game from 9 onward and more. But yet, Tube Slider was technically a third-party game as it was published by NEC Interchannel. This is a GameCube exclusive that never left the GameCube, that nobody talks about, and most people do not even know it exists, and it's become quite rare and expensive physically, pushing $100 or more to complete in box. Tube Slider plays similar to F-Zero and Extreme G, except it's slightly more simplistic from a gameplay mechanic perspective. It's called Tube Slider because you're literally racing around tube-shaped racetracks. This is a surprisingly solid and fun game with great graphics, fun gameplay, fantastic music, and it runs smoothly. I had never played it before up until now, and after playing it, I could safely say this is a hidden gem on the GameCube. So clean up the visuals a bit, smooth out the edges, and make it HD, and you could have yourself a solid, say, $20 digital game on the Switch that could scratch that F-Zero itch. Next up is one of my favorite GameCube first-party titles that never left the console, and that game is Star Fox Adventures. Star Fox Adventures is an underrated and underappreciated fantastic game that is a GameCube exclusive and has never left the console, which is mind-blowing to me. Star Fox Adventures was developed by the legendary Rare, released on the GameCube in September 2002. Now this is a different game from your typical Star Fox game. While it does have some flying sections, the primary gameplay is action-adventure. You could say Star Fox Adventures is what you get if you combine Zelda with Star Fox, and it's fantastic. You will explore a massive dinosaur planet as you fight enemies, solve puzzles, and gain new gear and upgrades that enable you to explore even more areas. Melee combat is done by using a staff, and it is a ton of fun, and Star Fox Adventures features a day-night cycle, a useful companion dinosaur named Tricky, and a cool inventory system. Graphically, to this day, I think Star Fox Adventures is up there with some of the best looking games in the GameCube library, and the music and sound design are both top notch. I would absolutely love to see an HD remastered port hit the Nintendo Switch, maybe in a double pack with Star Fox Assault, even if they change nothing else about the game. Star Fox Adventures needs to leave the GameCube in some capacity so that it can be enjoyed by the masses. Next up, we have another obscure game that most people have never heard of that never left the GameCube, and that game is Disney's Hide and Sneak. Disney's Hide and Sneak was published and developed by Capcom and released on the GameCube in North America in 2003, and it never left the console, and you know what? That's probably for the best. In Hide and Sneak, some alien called Lulu gets hit by a meteor while in space and falls to Earth, then sort of kidnaps either Mickey or Minnie, depending on who you play as. So you play as either Mickey or Minnie, and the gameplay here I think is best described as a sort of stealth game with light action and puzzle elements to it. You sneak around in various rooms, sort of from an isometric view with very limited camera movement as you try to avoid a variety of aliens. You can do tricks to hide in barrels, jump into crates, and a variety of other actions. Most rooms simply require you to find the key to get to the door, rinse and repeat with minor variations. I found the gameplay here to be very boring and not compelling at all, and downright frustrating at times due to the limited camera movement and field of view, making it difficult to see enemies as you sneak around. The thing is, this could have been a fun game, but it ends up just being boring and frustrating, so if it ever did leave the GameCube, it would have to be a complete remake. So maybe it's best that this obscure title stays stuck on the GameCube. The final game on today's list that has never left the GameCube is not only one of my favorite GameCube games, but one of my favorite games of all time, period, and that game is Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door. Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door released on the GameCube in North America back in 2004, and it is an absolute crime against humanity that this game never left the GameCube because millions and millions of people have missed out on this damn near masterpiece. Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door is a sort of cel-shaded epic RPG game where Mario and several sidekicks go on a huge adventure to solve a mystery and ultimately try to prevent the end of the world. The art style and graphics has a paper aesthetic that also plays heavily into the gameplay, combat, exploration, and puzzle solving. The turn-based combat is very interactive and an absolute blast, and the story is absolutely phenomenal with some very dark moments and some sad moments which are both shocking for a Mario game. The colorful graphics still hold up to this day and look fantastic. Look, there is so much to this game that I could talk about it for hours, and if you want to learn more, I actually did an in-depth review on the channel that I'll link to in the description. I've played through Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door 5 times, and I so very badly want it to release on the Switch as an HD remaster and get a physical copy, and I will gladly play through it a 6th time. I think Nintendo would make bank off of a release like this, and it's not outside of the realm of possibility that it could happen, so let's all keep our fingers crossed. So Nintendo, if you're watching this video, and I know you're not, but in the rare instance that you are, please re-release Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door in HD on the Switch and make all of our dreams come true. Alright folks, that is it for today's video where we talk about GameCube exclusives that were stuck on the console and never left the GameCube, featuring Marcello from GameCube Galaxy. Special shout out to him for joining today's video. Let me know in the comments what you think about today's list. Let me know if there's any games that you think I should cover that meet that criteria in a future video, and as always,